What's up? What's up? Dwayne Dixon again with Success of a Nation. I got my man Cordell Brown-El. It's going to be a good one, y'all. It's going to be a good one. Now, for starters, this brother, he's the first black owner in America of an energy company. That's number one. And then it just goes downhill or uphill from there because he's got so many other things to talk about and contribute. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. One other thing I've got from him before we get started. I'm taking the word try out of my vocabulary. I'm taking try out, man.
I mean, you should.
I'm taking try out. Now, you know, usually you say try because you want to, you don't want to be too presumptuous, or you don't want to take the other person's for granted. So you say, hey, man, let's try to get together. But you know what?
Absolutely.
Every time I said try, he came in, brother. Try is a social construct of the white man or something. He hit me with something.
Yeah, we have to learn the meaning of these words and not focus on the definition. But the word try is an attempt to fail. So we can't keep promoting attempts to have failure when we're constantly doing things to be progressive.
You see what I mean? So, you know what? With all that being said, I think this is a good place for us to get started. Not only is he an entrepreneur and a business leader, but he's also a thought leader. And we're about to find that out firsthand. So, again, y'all, Cordell Brown-El. Here we go. We faded out, man, so it's on you now, man. So first of all, I mean, it's such a major accomplishment to be the first black of anything, but then you think about how extraordinary it must be for someone to do an energy company. I mean, when you say energy, that's kind of like, that's over there. You know, that's for somebody else, but here you are.
Here we are, because we did it together. So if it was, you know, other races, they would outline a particular race and said, this is what they done.
Right.
So you have some artwork with signatures on them.
Yeah. From
the artists. But Old African Customs, they made statues, they made monuments, and they gave it to the people. So, not to get off track, that's why most of museums, if they return those original artifacts to the land where time began in Africa, they would have to close their doors.
Ain't that the truth? Well, listen, that was my way of giving you your flowers by saying you, but okay, I'll take the we.
Us. Hey, we did this.
Okay, there you have it. There you have it. So, let's find out who you are and just even how you got to this space. Because again, not many people set out to accomplish something that you've done or we've done.
Absolutely.
But can you kind of elaborate on who Cordell really is, and you know, we'll just kind of go into things from there.
Absolutely. Originally from Cleveland, Ohio. You know, live in Atlanta, Georgia. Never drank, never smoked, don't have any tattoos. Straight at 6 o'clock. Hard worker, one of the coolest nerds you'll ever meet. You know, mom sent me to private school early. You know, my brothers and myself, and we just kept growing from there. Grandmother, great aunts, all educators. So
there you go.
We set out to achieve something. So when tracing the roots, my grandmother's grandfather started the Grade A egg company in 1860, give or take, in Macon, Georgia. Bought 100 acres of land in 1880, still owned by the family to this day.
Cut it out, man. You said Grade A like on my eggs in the refrigerator
on everybody's
right now?
Eggs. It said Grade A eggs.
On them?
Absolutely. So at the time, it was illegal to get a patent. Because, at the time, it was illegal to read. Those things were outlawed. So But those were where these things originated. So when you grow up seeing family members like own businesses, and we trade trips to Macon, and they had it all. It was a dairy farm. My aunt still operates the garden there.
Wow.
Family still live on the land. It's 100 acres. It can only be transferred through blood. It can never be sold.
And you had a chance to see that?
Yeah, I see it now. It will be there in a couple of days.
See, and that comes back to one of the purposes of this show, Success of a Nation. If you can see it, you can be it. And here you got this brother who was exposed to all types of entrepreneurial pursuits and endeavors from way back when, from grandma.
Absolutely. Grandma, great-grandma.
And great-grandma. So I guess it's no surprise why you here doing it on such a level that you're doing it.
Well, it's already written. See, one thing we have to focus on in our neighborhoods is, if you instill confidence as a child, you don't have to restore it as an adult. So, the restoration of confidence is needed if you've never seen it. But people come to the United States not because it's free over here. They come for opportunities.
Right, the opportunity,
so
right.
When, and all due respect to the Caribbean black, because he showed the African in America how to be free. Okay. Because their freedom it came 100 years before ours.
Yeah.
So, but on confined islands, when you are the majority, when you see someone that looks like you, that is the schoolmaster, that is the police officer, that owns the businesses in your neighborhood, and you work in family restaurants, you transition that success over into, I can do it next, let me get started.
Yeah.
Not having to lack so much confidence on,
absolutely,
I can't see it done.
Yeah.
So will they do this? So you ask, if you've grown up here in neighborhoods where we're not the majority, hey, will y'all allow me to do this?
Right.
But when you focus on the Caribbean African, he said, hey man, I'm getting ready to do this because we own that at home. So he's not asking why or if I could. He's asking me, hey, he's telling, I'm getting started. He's making a statement. We asking questions. So now we're in a position to make statements, and we enjoy everybody's company, because you can learn something from a homeless man. So that's what we do with energy. Everything is moving into an energy space. Even a healthy person produces between 80 and 92 megahertz. That's electrical. So if I rub my feet on a carpet and touch you get a shock. So what we do is electricity. 1,000 watts equals 1 kilowatt. 1,000 kilowatts equal 1 megawatt. 1,000 megawatts equal 1 gigawatt. This is in an energy space. So when you turn your lights on at home and your parents say, cut that light off if you ain't using it, because they are being charged per kilowatt hour a certain amount of money. If we shut those lights off, then we can have a lower bill. And then don't let it be peak months or off peak months.
Cordell. Okay. Okay.
Deal. Let's do it.
How many watts we got? The person, the human.
80. 80. If you're producing 80 megahertz, you're doing pretty good.
We're producing 80 ourselves.
A healthy person.
Yeah.
Now, if you're producing, I believe, under 60 megahertz, you say, I don't feel good, I feel sick, which means the body is not producing enough electricity to function properly. So when you feel sick, which is a short for acidic, means the body is full of acid. That acid is slowing down the electricity in the body. Now, when you're producing under 50 to 59 megahertz, that let in all of your anemias, your hypoglycemia, your sickle cell anemia, your leukemias, all of those. Under that, those tumors are becoming cancerous. Right. And if the body is only producing 25 megahertz, that's basically your brain dead. So those terms may not be accurate, but in that order, this is how you can track how healthy you are.
I'm afraid to go into the whole alkaline versus acidic thing with you because that
Right.
might be another
What?
hour or so. But
Yeah,
but
hey,
yeah,
round two.
but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but even when the kids play sports, first thing they do is I tell them, hey man, eat fruit in the morning because fruits
The acidic.
stimulate your energy. Then you eat vegetables in the evening because vegetables will stabilize it. So raise your energy up in the morning and then stabilize it. Don't eat so much bread because that bread will raise your glucose levels up. And you can't go to play sports on Saturday morning and you already ate 3 pancakes and some sausage and then you sluggish. No, get your fruit up.
Okay. So you see what I mean. Thought leader, business leader. We ain't even got the business yet, but I'm determined we're gonna get there. I'm telling you we're gonna get there. So yeah. All right. That being said, let me go into the business aspect of it then, man. Tell me more about how you got started, and then I guess we'll dive into what all of this is about and so on and so forth. Now this is crazy. This is intriguing to me, man. So have at it. I'm almost tempted to just turn my chair and just
Sit back.
Yeah, for real.
So we're moving into a phase where we need to stop using natural resources and fossil fuels for electricity. So initially I stated I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So Ohio, to produce electricity, uses 90% coal. But only 10% of that coal comes from the actual state. So by railroad or truck, they truck it in West Virginia, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania. So Ohio was making 5 other states rich to produce the electricity that we need on a continuous 24/7. So
Ohio was making other states rich.
Absolutely. You have to purchase coal from other states
Okay.
if you don't produce it in state.
I understand.
So Arizona is another one.
Yeah.
And then I think South Carolina may be the worst because the state of South Carolina doesn't produce natural resources that can be used for energy. So even natural gas, they truck it in from Georgia. Their main industry in South Carolina is forestry, but then they use part of that forestry to burn it for electricity.
Okay.
So in 2015, they had a Paris Greenhouse Initiative, and 195 countries signed on, stating that we're going to stop using for climate change all of the natural resources like oil, like coal, like natural gas that consume heat.
I was about to say, because we are getting away from coal anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think in Georgia they closed down maybe 20 coal fire plants. Detroit maybe 8 to 10.
Okay.
And it's one thing about burning coal or burning anything. You are left with ashes that you can't compost. Meaning you can't take those ashes, bury it, and then plant fruits, vegetables, or grass.
Right.
So it's like the landfill effect, which is basically an artificial mountain.
Yeah.
So you have, in Georgia, you have a mountain called Pine Bluff. Mm-hmm. It is the largest mountain in Georgia. It's made up of trash. So when it rains, eventually the water seeps through the soil. It will contaminate the buried trash.
And the water we drink ultimately, right?
It'll eventually burn through the liners and hit your fresh water supply. So even that it goes through a water purification plant, even if it's clear to the touch, has no smell, if you're not testing the water, making sure it's over 7.1 pH balance, it's still acid.
Wow.
So when you're drinking more acid, it lowers the electricity.
Okay. So Cordell, I'm sorry, brother. How did you get started into this space?
I was always in the trash space, at waste management at a young age.
Okay.
And was paying attention to how the landfills were built, the methane that they was burning. I have an aviation degree, airframe and power plant, so that turbine engine is used for several different aspects and even energy. So as we were moving towards more renewable conversations, that more recycling atmospheres and environments up north, when I traveled in the South and, migrated here to Atlanta, it was just a path after doing some research on, after slavery, what did our people own or what did we never have?
So you came to the South and saw that there was a need for the natural resources, whereas the North was already moving away from it?
Yeah, I think the North was it's more of a custom to recycle.
Okay.
Because I used to go walk to the store and turn a bottle in and get a dime.
I remember them days. Yeah, New York. Right.
Yeah, so down here, they're like, hey, man, throw it out. It's nothing personal, but nobody's recycling. So if you are, and you say you are, then do what is available, and that's follow the truck.
Yeah.
So, and then move more into the construction and demolition and seeing how they building houses now, how they building communities now. Smart cities, they doing central air, central heat, meaning that everything is all electric. So, like even my son, he's the youngest, 12 years old. He got a phone, tablet, computer, LED lights wrapped around his room, a Fire Stick, video game controllers, Beat speaker, and wireless headphones that need charging.
Yeah. So
his room is a hot room.
Right.
He's probably burning at least 10 kilowatts a month on his own. Oh, he don't need homework. He need a part-time job. And then you run the AC and the ceiling fan. So like you're not even like it's a I call it astronaut food. And I probably shouldn't, but everything now, we went from the microwave phase, right?
Yeah.
So then we into the 5G. When people saying 5G is giving us cancer, 5G killed my tree.
Right.
5G gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Well, 5G is millimeter waves connecting with each other. I guarantee you gonna get millimeter waves out your microwave that'll kill you faster
than 5G
will. Not saying that these things shouldn't be spread out in an eco-friendly, sustainable environment.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we have to pay attention to the statements that we make. If you hate 5G, next generation technology, to move us into the Internet of Things, then get rid of your microwave, because that's at least 800 to 1,000 watts. You don't believe me? Turn your microwave around and read that sticker.
Yeah.
And you stand in front of it all the time, watching the popcorn pop.
That's it.
You're talking on the cell phone.
Eating dinner up, whatever.
Dinner, heating it up on plastic plates and not.
Oh, and then that plastic.
It's killing you.
Yeah, okay.
Because it has an oil base. So, to the electricity, it's like you needed turbine engine knowledge, information. I work with some great engineers out of Georgia Tech in the plasma gasification department, because we still need to reduce the gross national amount of trash that ends up in our landfills annually.
So real quick, when you came to Atlanta, that's when you got started in the energy space? That's when you started your company, or did you do it up north when you were in Cleveland?
No. I had a few thoughts in Cleveland, but everything was born in
came to
Georgia.
fruition here in Georgia.
Yeah, I was bringing it back to my roots, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel you.
And I got a grandfather that was from Rome, Georgia, who I never met, and a grandmother from, Macon, Georgia. But, the universe is magnetic. It brought us back to Georgia where they started at, so I'm still here.
Okay, that's what's up. So let me just start there then. So you came to Atlanta. You got into you were in waste management anyway, correct?
Right, transferred down here from waste management in Ohio.
Okay, so you transferred. Now, between working in waste management and gaining all of that experience and the knowledge behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Then you mentioned something about Georgia Tech. Something had to spark, this idea. That's what I'm trying to zero in on. Like,
zero in.
You came.
Path.
Yeah. What How did that
So
take place?
it originally started with waste to energy because after waste management, I was going to school, aviation school, to gain an aviation degree because
You wanted to fly.
I wanted to fly everything, work on planes. No, we do it
Okay,
all.
you wanted to. Okay, you want.
But the same
mechanics.
engine, yeah, mechanics. You,
Okay.
you need a airframe and power plant degree to work on an airplane
Okay.
because
okay.
they have the airframe is the skin of the plane. The power plant is that turbine engine.
Absolutely.
So I fell in love with that turbine engine
Okay.
because it's the same engine in power plants, same design.
So take me from your love for the turbine engine to let me start a company.
Deal. So the aviation side and needing to start a company and sitting in a place where our people was suffering the greatest thing I ever seen our people suffer through was Hurricane Katrina.
Okay. Okay.
So as it happened, left waste management, had the aviation degree, got a call, wanted to help out in New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
And I'm building everything. I'm putting the puzzle together.
Okay.
So I had a cousin and my younger brother, and they followed me down there
To New Orleans.
to New Orleans 2 days after Hurricane Katrina. I think it was the
Okay.
30th of August, 2005.
Okay.
So we sleep in our cars for 3 months. Like, we helping our people out. Every night I'm in darkness. I'm like, why is it taking so long to get the power back up? All you need is grid connect turbine engines, and let's go. I even was with a FEMA guy and the Army Corps engineers asking me hey man, we got to get some of these planes. They had Cessna planes going. They would float around the Gulf of Mexico with them. And if you had a normal aviation engine there, you have a Continental engine and a 182 Cessna. And you got 350 Chevy motors in here. I said, man, you don't need me, man. You need like Mr. Goodrich. These things will never fly. I don't know what's in there, but these Chevy motors, you need GM.
Right.
So as we in darkness meet some other Army Corps engineers, meet some people, and I say, hey man, stay there 3 months. My brother and my family, we go to Hurricane Rita hit. So now we in Florida. So we there another 3 months. So get back to Georgia, I'm like, man, I gotta put this together because our people in darkness too long. Like, it's impossible. It's not that hard. So then it dove into needing federal approvals to do what we need to do.
What we need to do?
What we need to do is become a power company. So in order to become a power company, nobody is going to let you can put up a solar panel and then you can sell electricity to your home.
Right.
But that solar panel, even though it may produce 1 kilowatt, it may not service the whole street. And it's definitely not going to service it on a continuous 24/7.
Okay.
Because when the sun go down, you have no power.
Correct.
So now,
I thought there was reserve power though. It from during the day,
Yeah.
taking all those hours of sunlight in the night, it still works.
if the battery storage is in place.
Okay, go on. I don't mean
Right,
to
deal.
get off track.
So with Hurricane Katrina, so much trash and you in darkness, and we got to take it somewhere. So working with landfills and things of that nature, like, you have to burn the methane because it'll eventually combust under the ground.
Okay.
So now every major company that uses compressed natural gas is Waste Management. They own all the landfills. I can take that methane, convert it into a compressed natural gas. They have removed all the diesel tanks off of their trucks, and now they own compressed natural gas. So when we use the fourth state of matter, which is matter can't be created or destroyed, you have solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Using plasma gasification, you can burn the trash with no smell, no smoke. The first time we've been introduced to plasma is when we went outside in the sun. And we had a previous conversation. I had sunburn before.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
No smell. I didn't smell my skin burning. It definitely didn't produce a smoke.
Right.
But the next day, the effects were very valid. I couldn't even close my eyes. That's how tight my skin was.
Wow. Yeah.
And then a sore produced over my forehead.
Oh, for real? You had it like that?
Oh yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh man,
It's a terrible place.
I
I'm
might
never
have
going back
peeled
there.
a little bit, but that was about.
I had a scab.
Wow.
And no disrespect to Albuquerque, but driving through, I had the top down and
Yeah, it
it
got
fought
you.
back. Yeah. I mean, I tell people, you don't have to protect Mother Nature. She know how to take care of herself.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on,
yeah.
brother.
So inside of reducing the gross national amount of trash that ends up in landfills annually, we can use the plasma gasification. We can burn it in a situation. It's called a hopper. We can capture the synthetic gas, use the plasma torches, and what's left over is like a black slate rock, which you can crush up, just like cutlet, which is crushed up glass, and you can mix it with asphalt or concrete. So you've been driving down the road before and seen something shiny out there. You have to say, let me be careful because it may be some glass.
Yeah.
But that's called cutlet, made and mixed with the bonding agent to make a solid surface called concrete.
What exactly, in all of that you just described, what exactly does 360 Recycle do?
360 Recycling provides end-to-end solutions in recycling industry, material recovery, helping build out recycling plants. And then once the material is recovered, we actually make sure that the energy piece of that is used to complete the circle.
Okay.
So if we, do a material recovery project,
Okay.
if we, recycle that material, if we're going to use the fourth state of matter in plasma gasification, that actual process produces energy.
Okay.
So when that process produces energy, it will produce more than what's needed to sustain a particular building that's built out, because it'll produce megawatts instead of kilowatts.
Okay.
So to make the process direct and make everything work financially, we needed federal approvals to sell this excess electricity to become a power company.
Okay. And you then, in turn, became a power company.
Right. We got
approval.
the approvals from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, which is better known as FERC.
Okay. So I guess that's what kind of separates you from the boys to the men, so to speak. Because I have done that. When Katrina hit,
Right.
I went down there, bought a dump truck,
Yeah.
and rode that
Got it
thing,
registered, got a sticker on the side.
and rode that thing till the wheels fell off. I was working through a small company under Halliburton, and just made money moving
material.
moving material. So that part I remember well. But then when you get into all the other stuff, that's sort of where we go from little guy with a truck to Cordell and all that he's doing.
Yeah, you jump out the school zone right onto the freeway.
I'm just thinking about what you said, and I know offline you had also mentioned like some place. You even mentioned Puerto Rico, and then I think you mentioned some other spots that
Absolutely.
that you're also doing work in. Or
Yeah, we did work in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
They have one power company there, but they have solar power companies also.
okay.
So
What do you help Puerto Rico with?
So we were working with them to try to get more electricity in outside of solar that's available with the technology that we have.
Okay.
Dominican Republic, we've been back and forth there for the past, I'm gonna almost say, almost 8 years now. Certain areas, the people there still have power outages in 2021. So the technology that we can produce is very conducive to lifestyle abroad.
Okay.
In a country called Suriname in South America, they still have people in the jungle that don't have access to power. We can plug and play anywhere. We can have 300 megawatts of battery storage up in the first 90 days.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That's great. Yeah. And that I use when I would go to Brazil a lot,
mhm,
and they at night they be like turning their stuff off.
it got to,
You know, and then
sadly.
during yeah, then during the day you back to normal. But so I've actually seen what you're talking about in real time. Yeah.
Right. If you own resorts and things of that nature, they have generators. So even Nigeria, in 2016, we started a division of 360 Recycling called 360 Recycling Limited in Nigeria. We want to help Africa out. South Africa joint venture. We do the great conversations with the current president in Gambia. Several conversations on how to grow Congo. The DRC, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the country is worth $24 trillion, and they still having mudslides and power outages. So we are firm believers, whether you in Brazil, which has the highest populations of Africans outside of Africa, whether you in the Caribbean islands, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Trinidad and Tobago, you name it, the Virgin Islands, St. Penn, like they are still going through power outages in 2021. It's getting ready to be 2022. Like the technology and the hard work has already been done. The current president of Gambia, we're working with them on more power into the country. We're also working with them, trying to help them reduce trash, because outside of just being waste to energy, material recovery, they need a continuous source of electricity. Okay. So if you get a continuous source of electricity, then you can have more schools open, access to Wi-Fi in the evenings. You can grow educational wise. When we do material recovery, basically an assembly line process of separating the trash, now you have to have people to operate on this equipment, run the equipment, train it as far as safety is concerned, and service. This opens up several different lanes now that are careers instead of somebody just getting a job. But these things have to be illuminated in the evenings. Okay. So, and most people say, I never heard of 360 Recycling, and you probably haven't. So to make us and banks feel comfortable, to make the people that we're willing to help globally, we hire the largest EPCMs in the world.
EPCMs.
That's engineering, procurement, construction, and management companies. Okay. We like to focus with companies and have master service agreements with them. That's on all 7 continents. So if the bank is, investing in us, or
they want to
country,
they want to know you got that back.
They want to know not only have you done it successfully, and how have the projects been, after build out. So when you bring a firm in that will not only engineer it, making sure that the budget for the engineering is in place, have an entire construction plan in place, and make sure that the management of these properties and these projects doesn't fall by the wayside. And we feel great about it, because the first thing that we do is we offer local residents in these countries, like, you will be able to work at these jobs and get these facilities first. We don't want to truck in labor support.
Yeah,
when you have the best.
Give the local people a job.
And then the local people will grow to learn how to service these equipment, learn how to operate the equipment, have the safety meetings, and most importantly, they will grow up with this type of confidence that they can do it themselves. Nothing has to be instilled. Nothing has to be restored when it's instilled.
You're global.
Yes.
In order for banks and such to feel comfortable, just because they haven't heard of your company, you've done what most companies, smaller companies, have to do: align yourself with all the necessary components.
The support team that does this every day.
Yes.
That's been in business for over 100 years on all 7 different continents.
There we go.
And they have a household name. They've done projects in these countries before.
Yeah.
One thing about the energy industry, when they give you an agreement, it's the equivalent of a mortgage. it is a 30-year contract. So you will be able to pay a principal and interest back, train and hire locally, and then, live in these environments that we deserve.
Okay, there we go. And I think there's a message to be gained here too, because a lot of times entrepreneurs, including myself, I've been guilty of it, is we so used to running solo. Everything is, hey, I did it dolo, whatever, right?
I don't need nobody.
Yeah. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You need a team. I'm looking at investing in apartment complexes right now. The first thing the banks are looking from me is, okay, where's your experience? So I have to bring a general partner on who's got 2,000 doors.
Right.
Because I've just done residential. They're like, this is cute, but we
qualify.
need, So that is so important. I'm hoping that y'all got that gem, because teamwork make the dream work. I mean,
all day.
It really is that way. And, I've sort of found it out the hard way, thinking that I could do it. I even have this conversation with my kids right now. They're entrepreneurs. I got it. I'm like, no, you don't.
But
you need
this
that
is experience.
team.
Like, you don't, to be successful, you don't have to pay attention to what somebody has done.
Right.
Pay attention to what they has failed at, and then there's your checklist. I know not to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, and through the process of elimination, hey, this is the path to go.
Yeah.
That's why you have mentors.
That's
because
it.
Again, the meaning of the word mentor is tour guide. So there's many roads to success, but that right tour guide will help you take the road of least resistance.
Man.
And that's how you be successful.
That's it. So all of that being said, what's next for you?
What's next is just, let's train more youth.
Okay.
So
I like that.
We deal with like battery storage, we can build them from the ground up. Solar panels, we can build them from the ground up. Countries that's growing like Guyana. We talked to some mayors over there in a country called Suriname. Man, Suriname is, under Brazil, South America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have a growing community there that needs to be expanded.
Okay.
And like I said, it is painful to hear that, we have people that look like us or look like anybody that's in the jungle with no electricity.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, but these, we have the answers. I could understand if we had no answers.
Right.
So when answers are available and, collectively resources are available.
Right. We just got to get it there.
Right. And they have, the government there. Hey, look, it's a great, country that just got its independence called St. Penn. St. Penn is, British Virgin Islands. But they have great people over there I've talked to that wants help. Man, Dominican Republic, again, all of the power companies, I believe, on the island is in conjunction with one another. And we need to get the entire island back working with each other, which originally is called the island of Hispaniola. That's Haiti and Dominican Republic together.
I was just about to ask what your thoughts on Haiti, considering the shape that they're in.
Haiti's always suffering, man.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
For a reason, though.
Haiti always suffering for a reason, because, hey, it was some true warriors in Haiti.
They fought back.
But they originally was from an Igbo tribe that came from Jamaica that was called Maroons. And then they said, hey, man, we'll sell them to Haiti. So everybody focuses on Toussaint or Louverture, no disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
But if you focus on Toussaint or Louverture, who died in exile in a European prison,
yeah, But just what he did prior to being
Toussaint had to catch up with the fight to be a part of the fight. So the real soldiers in the Haitian revolt was Dessalines and Christophe.
See, here we go. Here we go, y'all. What?
Was Dessalines and Christophe.
Okay.
When they fought Napoleon's cousin Leclerc, those were the ones that fought back. Now, Toussaint did, but I'm saying that the fight had already started.
Okay.
So you don't go to the doorstep of your oppressor after winning a tiny battle to try to come up with an agreement. Also, it was some Haitian women involved in the war. So, like, again, when you travel up to the hinterlands, which is basically on the hill, and you see people down below, you always can have a better position on an elevated position. So eventually Leclerc and his soldiers, they let the dogs loose, and Dessalines and Christophe said, we're going to make sure you eat them dogs. So when the Haitians surrounded the French, eventually if you go so far outside of that circle, you get killed. Now you can't get in more help. Now you can't get in more bullets. Now you can't get in more food. So if you keep getting hungry, man's best friend will be man's best meal. And that's what happened.
That's what happened.
So it's a deeper story why Haiti is in a lot of trouble.
Right.
But we here to help because that's what we do.
Yeah, no doubt.
If Haitians or Africans or anybody that's willing to work with us are in trouble, it's not the responsibility of those people living in those designated countries alone. Like, we all have a responsibility to help out.
So, there you go.
But inside of helping out, be fair. Give us the, like, we can't come into your country sometimes without a sovereign guarantee. We can't help out in your country without documents signed by the actual executives in the country that, when verified by banking institutions or construction firms, like, make sure the documents are signed by the people in charge.
Where did all of this start from, man? Like, the knowledge base, because I'm like, okay, is he sovereign? Okay, is he part of the Fruits of Islam? I mean, where's all of this coming from? Because you literally, any topic that came up, you were right there on it. And me being a conversationalist, I appreciate that.
Oh man, we give you feedback.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Where did that start, man? I know you said private school, but come on, man. My kids went to good schools too, but they ain't doing all that.
All right, cool. So we have family reunions every year.
Yeah.
In those family reunions, it gave a track record of history.
Okay.
So most people don't know their great-grandparents' last name.
Yeah.
So my grandmother and her sisters compiled all of the books, all of the records, birth certificates, marriage certificates, slave papers purchased out of Washington, D.C., certificates back that stated that they had freedom, and made sure it was all in a booklet. Now it's emailed to everybody in the family.
Oh, man, that's incredible, man.
But I always wanted to know the truth. I'm a truth seeker. Look, I'm a stubborn Aries. Like, I'm going to find out what I want.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to move, the Marine Corps way, swift, silent, deadly.
There you go.
Not going to say too much. And I don't like a lot of people that's in the way when I want to know some information.
Yeah.
Especially if it's all honest.
Okay.
So, like, if I feel you haven't gave me all the information, I'm just going to further my research.
There you go.
So, they have sovereign nations that speak similar information.
They do.
They have, the Moors, man, they are great providers of information.
The Israelites, the brothers that be talking that talk.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm wholeheartedly behind them. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, personally, what's beneficial to us collectively is if we start at the beginning, and that always brings us back to Africa. You can't say you're more and then you don't talk about Africa.
There you go.
So once you let it be your starting point to understand more about Africa and its contribution to the entire world, and then we can all, understand that, at some point in time we still all get along. Because at the end of the day, it's not they ashamed if you know more. Mm-hmm. It's the fear in them to know where you will be again once you take back over. Because to be honest with you, like police killings or shootings initially, like if I'm not gonna say nobody's name, but the gentleman that was choked out on the street,
Eric Garner.
Yeah, he was.
Or
I wasn't gonna say his name, but yes,
you
Eric
talking
Garner.
Eric Garner, or you talk? There's so many.
I'm talking Eric Garner, and the problem I have with it is, like, the community could have killed those police officers easy. Initially, you could have did it, and only problem I have is like everybody's so tough. Everybody got a pistol. Everybody got a pit bull. Everybody holding stacks of money up.
But ain't nobody got no body count though.
Exactly. So if you like, I hate them. Like if you sit there and just film somebody get choked to death and you don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like you don't do nothing. Like I'm talking about it's a community of people. In certain neighborhoods, let me rephrase. In certain neighborhoods,
wouldn't you say most neighborhoods? Ain't nobody trying to really get down like that.
Well, that's another.
Think about L.A.
Okay,
with all the Bloods and the Crips, 90 of them standing in a circle. If one little patrol car come through or on a skateboard patrol, whatever, everybody scattering. There is a level of conditioning that you just can't ignore with that, man.
Well,
you see what I'm saying,
I see
right?
what you're saying. And
okay.
We should start with L.A. Why? Because Los Angeles County is the largest county in America.
Okay.
So let's start there. And, and everything shouldn't be about violence. But I think that they go about these marches the wrong way. I know.
Yeah,
I know
you just not with the marching.
For what?
So you just like grab the Uzi at this point.
Good. Somebody need to be shot. Somebody need to be shot. Look, I'm not saying fire a shot, but eventually
somebody need to be shot. But I'm not saying fire a shot.
So look, like when has And just respectfully, like I've been educated by great men.
Yeah.
I didn't do it all on my own.
No doubt.
The hard work has been done. I paid attention to them.
Yeah.
I studied them.
Right.
I watched them. I rewinded it. I watched them again. I read their books. I bought their books. I have a library.
Right.
I paid attention to, what people done. I paid attention to what we honor like a civil right when you ain't never had one.
No doubt. So your point.
My point is very serious. Stop doing what everybody is doing, thinking that marching gonna get you some justice. It's not. Freedom has never been left in the will. Not one time. They had slave owners that died. Guess what? Transitioned over. You property. So if you really wanted to do something, leave me my freedom in the will. Leave me my justice in the will. It's not. So, again, if you studying the laws of the land.
And I have a feeling you've studied the laws.
Hey, you talking. A police officer kill a man on the street. Kill a woman on the street.
Right.
You go to the police department, you raising hell. You marching, you flipping over cars, you burning, you protesting. You looting your own neighborhood.
Now that I have a problem with. You ain't lied about that. Now, I always have a problem with that.
So it's one thing that, like I said, I studied them all. I'm not honoring nobody particularly. hopefully I have taken the best points out of every information.
Yeah.
And what I want to promote is I did pay attention to that. But that's just it in a nutshell.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Got some, recognition, won a Lifetime Achievement Award from the President, President Obama, Goodwill Ambassador from Governor Deal.
Damn, I meant to bring yeah.
We keep it moving forward. So, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to provide the information.
And how did you catch the attention of the White House?
So, it's some local senators knew the work I was doing in the community, and they let them know. And then when it popped up on, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission site, this is what you do. But and it was like, hey man, nobody else was registered. I even got a few resumes. Hey man, because we'll work for you, man. I'm like, oh, deal. That'll work.
Okay, so it was a submission process.
Yeah, it was submitted.
Okay.
They just made them aware.
Okay, I got you.
And hey man, this what this man is doing, and that's what he does for free. And on the power side, recycling, man, we ain't seen nobody better. And I didn't know it. I got a call and a letter, and then I got a visit, and I was like, hey, what's going on out there?
And he literally has a badge, a medal.
Oh yeah,
lifetime achievement on it, and he got the certifications with the paperwork and the whole bit. So
I don't know, show the people. But
yeah. There you go. There it is.
Hey, so we did something. So we're going to keep doing things right. So we're going to push forward in pursuit of portraying positive examples instead of negative statistics, man. These things are available. So nobody's done everything the right way, but I think collectively, like I initially stated, we can resolve most issues, because information is there.
There you go.
The hard work has already been done. So we just got to be patient enough to work with us. So, it's easily to get frustrated, but the true thinkers will,
prevail.
We will prevail. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Hey, man, again, this has been incredible, man. I really appreciate it. I'm Dwayne Dixon with Success of a Nation. This is my man, Cordell Brown-El. And again, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on, man, and dropping that science on us, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Oh, man, science comes from the royal seal, which means to know. Hey, that's next.
That's next. He's got 1 million of them. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Take care. We're out.